the guy you're interested in was emotionally attached to you, would you want to know? Of course you would. You'd want to see the signs that a man is into you and know what to look for in a man's behavior. Well, knowing would answer so many questions, right? Because guys don't always show you their emotions, do they? Yeah, that's right. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to cover 14 signs that a man is emotionally attached to you and how to spot them. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. First off, you got to know what emotional attachment really is. When we build up an emotional connection with somebody, it always starts somewhere that you can identify. Now, I've seen a few articles that say that the first stage of attachment is when he sees you as a friend. This is completely wrong and false and misleading and will probably jack up your entire relationship. A man starts out feeling emotional attachment to you when he's first attracted to you, not when he starts thinking of you as a friend. Don't get caught up in this kind of thinking. Men do not think of you as a friend until after you have the relationship. Now, this should not come as a huge shock for most women. In fact, you probably are, well, you're probably screaming at the screen right now, aren't you? But it's the truth. And the honest truth would be that you don't really look to see if he's a friend first. You want to know if you've got that spark of chemistry. Very few relationships start out as purely platonic with only a friendship. No, that's not how romantic relationships really start off. Most real romance, they start off in romantic love, and if you go to marriage, well, they're going to start out with that spark of sexual attraction. You got to have that oomph, that mojo. Sure, we may meet somebody and eventually start dating, but in reality, we knew looking back that that person was attractive to us. So the first step is physical attachment. The next step is emotional attachment. This is where both of you are sharing strong feelings and emotions. It's not just physical connection, it's an emotional connection. And then finally, after that comes a deeper commitment of your shared interests and communication and friends and things like that. So let's review the signs of a man being emotionally attached to you. Sign number one, he reaches out to connect with you. When a man is emotionally attached, he will want to find moments of connection with you all throughout the day. It might not be every hour of every day, but he's going to want to hear from you or connect at least once a day. I have to caution many women to not expect a man to text them all day long. You got to remember, it's not going to happen. Be open, however, to him wanting to reach out to you. He might do it through texting. It might be through a phone call. There's a whole bunch of different ways. Sometimes he'll just think about you, and that's all he needs. He doesn't necessarily need to even let you know about it. Sign number two is he shows up as your hero. When a guy is emotionally connected and attached to you, he wants to express it to you. One of the most common ways a guy does this is he will want to help you. This might mean he'll come over and fix something, or he might bring you some food, or he might do some work around your house, he might change the oil in your car. Whatever the task is, just remember that men show their love and emotional connection through action. He's going to want to demonstrate it in the physical world. This doesn't mean he's going to say it, which is something you need to remember. Men don't usually choose verbal expressions of affection, at least not in the way that you might. Men have a limited emotional vocabulary when it comes to this sort of thing. Sign number three, he communicates his feelings. On the other hand, if a man does share his feelings to you openly, that's a strong indicator that he's feeling emotional attachment to you, okay? For a man to bond with you, he does know that he has to open up. Again, be ready just in case his words are strange or they don't make sense. A lot of guys fumble their way through communicating feelings. You have to be insightful and know what those words mean before he says them. If you don't, you run the risk of having the wrong reaction and scaring him off. This is why I show women how to talk to men with my Passion Phrases program. Sign number four is he goes exclusive. Now this one is going to be a little tricky, so let's take it slow here. This doesn't mean that he's going to announce that he's making a commitment to you. He's not going to say, I hereby commit my heart. No, he's not going to do that. You'll probably never hear that in words from a man, which inevitably leads many women to chase those words, okay? It's not going to work. When a man goes exclusive with you, he will show you, not tell you. He stops chasing other women. He focuses his attention and his effort on you. He spends a little less time with his friends and more time with you. When a guy goes exclusive for him, it just happens. You won't get any formal announcement or proclamation from the king. You'll just notice that he just starts showing up in all the ways that a committed boyfriend would. Again, that's easy for you to mess this up. If you push to hear some kind of verbal acknowledgement or him telling you in some overt way, or you need to be shown in a very specific way, you're going to wind up disappointed. Always be open to him communicating to you in the way that he does, and just be ready to interpret a little bit. Is your man distant, kind of hard to connect to, or are you feeling a little stuck? Is he losing interest, or maybe you're close to breaking up? You might want to find out if you can save your relationship right now. You want to ask me a question? Go on over to datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. That's datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. Or click the link in the description below. Sign number 5, he may back off from physical intimacy. Back when I was dating, I recognized that very often I wanted to hold off on sex until I had formed a strong emotional connection with my girlfriend. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but it does happen. Even if the relationship started off with sex, a man may sometimes want to slow it down a little bit. He'll keep his attention on you, but he'll slow down the physical part. This gives him an opportunity to build the relationship in a way that is intuitive for him. Guys know that a traditional relationship often starts out with less physical intimacy and more build-up. Hey, it happens. Sign number 6, he busts your balls. I know. When a guy is really into a woman, he's going to test her. And one of the ways he does this is he gives you a hard time. He'll make jokes at your expense. He'll tease you and, like we Italians like to say, bust your balls. He'll pull your leg, meaning he's going to deliberately harass you a little bit. But it's all in good fun. It's a way for him to test you to see if you're fun or if you're structured and controlling and a killjoy. When a man teases you like this, it's a good sign. It shows that he sees you as a buddy as well as a romantic interest. Many women resist this because they don't want to be perceived as a buddy in this way. But if you don't feel as if you're fun like one of his friends, you're going to be doomed. So be happy when he does tease you like this. Sign number 7, he's going to actively like your posts and be very present on social media. Men aren't quite as active as women are on social media, and when they are, it's not usually for the same reasons. But when he starts connecting with you emotionally, he will be sure to connect with you on social media. Whether that's liking your posts or commenting, you're going to see him out there as being a little more active. He wants to show up as somebody that's part of your life. Sign number 8, he will tell you about everything. He'll tell you what's going on in his life, even if it bores you. This is connection to a guy. Men share and connect with each other by talking about the everyday situations that they run into. Women do this socially, but men typically only open up like this to somebody that they really trust. So even if he's not professing his love at every 5 minutes with you, the fact that he's talking to you about the mundane or everyday things, that's a good sign. Next sign is he shows affection to you whenever you're together. Men are very keen to connect with their girlfriends or their wives physically to establish that kind of connection. So if he's leaning into you a little bit physically or he's standing close to you, it's a simple sign of his emotional connection. The study of physical distance between people is called proxemics. So keep an eye out for how he uses those proxemics, that physical distance, to establish a little territory and maybe keep you a little closer. Next sign is he asks for your opinion. For a guy to take another person's opinion into consideration, that's kind of a big deal. So when he asks you for your opinion about something or what you might think about his situation or whatever, you should consider that a good sign that he is emotionally connected to you. You might ask your opinion, well, he might ask your opinion on clothes or something, or maybe a big decision that he's pondering. This shows that he values what you think, and he wants you to be a part of his decision, which is as good as saying a part of his life. He's not only showing you that he honors and respects your opinion, but that he wants you to be happy with the choices that he makes. Next sign is he's concerned about your safety. Pretty simple here. A guy is always very concerned about the woman in his life. He wants to know that she is safe, and he will check in on you frequently to let you know this. He may check in with texts or quick phone calls. This isn't necessarily jealousy. Very often it's just simply him making sure you're okay and safe. Of course, if he overdoes it, you may have to check in with him on it, but most of the time he's really just making sure that you feel safe and protected. Hey, if you like these tips, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, that little bell indicator, and you can get these videos every week and know when they're released. Don't miss out. Next sign is he's comfortable around you. Oh, wow, this one is bigger than most women realize. Men are on their best behavior and super hyper attentive when they're around a woman that they just met or they're trying to impress. Now, for a guy to be comfortable around you, he must feel accepted by you. He must feel safe around you. He has to have this knowing that you're not going to judge him. This lets him indulge in his weirdness that he might not normally show to the public world, right? You know, he enjoys being around you like this. Well, he must be feeling emotionally attached to you. This is a huge sign of emotional vulnerability because he's opening himself up to possible rejection in a way. Yes, even the gross stuff that he does. Just make sure you validate how much you're doing, you like doing, to be able to see this real him. That's what he needs to hear from you, is that you like seeing the authentic guy. Next sign is he doesn't ghost you. I know this one should be an obvious one, but it's true. A guy that is genuinely emotionally connected to you will not be so lost or distant that he fails to connect with you at least every day or two. If he's genuinely into you, he will want to hear from you. Period. Okay? Don't make excuses for a guy that is not demonstrating an obvious desire to be connected to you. This is where many women talk themselves out of seeing the truth. And eventually, you'll pay for that. If he ghosts you, he's just not that into you. And last sign today is he's considerate about your feelings. When a guy's connected emotionally to somebody he knows that he's feeling for, and that means that his feelings are woven together with yours, your emotions are going to share the same frequency for him. So a man should definitely check in with you about things and then consider your feelings along the way. Yes, occasionally you're going to be with a guy who doesn't quite get this. Maybe his emotional growth was stunted, or he's just a man boy. If a guy is into you, he's going to have this certain level of consideration about your feelings. He's going to know what your feelings are on some level, want to know, and he's going to try to not ignore them. Hey, you know what? Before we finish up, I do want to share a special signal, and let's call it a little bonus here. A bonus signal. He talks about the future with you. And by the same token, he doesn't avoid talking about the future with you. After all, one of the signals that he's not into your relationship is if he avoids talk of the future. The only reason we avoid talking about the future is if it feels like pressure to acknowledge a future relationship. And that's number one. Or number two, a guy knows right now that he has no intention of a future relationship with you. That's it. That's the only reason he would avoid talking about that. This is important stuff. If your man isn't able to look out into the future like this with you, he's not seeing a future with you, which means he's not going to be there for it. Look, you know what? This stuff works here, and I want to make sure that you understand that these insider secrets about guys can help you discover what men really want. You know, things like why they disappear, why do they ghost you, why does he, what does he want? What does he want you to say to him to let him know that you want to be a part of his life? When is he going to commit to you? Why does he leave you just when things are going great? Why do you end up doing all the work? Look, there's a truth here. There's a truth that nobody is probably telling you about, and that's why I do this work. I'm here to tell you the truth about how guys view relationships and why you can understand us. Sure, keep watching my videos, keep watching more of this channel, but take it a little bit more seriously. Let's jump in and let's get you that PhD, let's get your doctorate in understanding guys so that you can get the guy you want, whether that's a relationship or marriage or what, it doesn't matter. Hey, and you know what? The best way to start out doing that is go to this link you see below me here. That's right, that's datingfire.com/connection. datingfire.com/connection. This is one of the most essential videos you're going to see on understanding how guys connect to a woman and what you need to know to do it. So go on over to datingfire.com/connection. Learn about it right there. And hey, if you want more of this stuff, feel free to go on over to datingfire.com. You can click on my articles and see what I couldn't fit into this video. And if you're new here, or even if you're not, let's do the big three. Number one, like and subscribe. Get these videos every week. Number two, stick with me. Turn on those notifications. Click that bell icon so you get notified when the next video comes out. Hey, if you're already subscribed, great, but please share. Make sure you're sharing these things with somebody you know. I give away all this great free information. I just need more women to know about it. And now it's getting harder than ever. So please share it with somebody you know. And number three, hey, comment below. Would you like a part 2 of this video? Did you disagree with any of the tips I gave? Yeah, whatever, say what you want, but leave a comment below. This is some important stuff, and I read the comments. I try to respond to as many as I can each week. And don't forget, in a few seconds, YouTube is going to stick a recommended video for you right here in the corner for you to check out. This is Carlos Cavallo. As always, live and love with passion.